I never thought I'd hear the words that made my stomach drop and my hands go clammy, right in my own dining room. Honestly, sometimes I wonder why I even married you, she said, her laugh light careless, like tossing a pebble into a deep well. The clink of her wine glass punctuated the cruel rhythm of her sentence. I froze, fork halfway to my mouth, trying to convince myself it was a joke, that the tension in her voice was just sarcasm. But deep down, a cold knot of dread had already settled in my chest. Clara, my wife of 12 years, had always had a teasing streak, but this felt different. I forced a laugh, hoping she'd see it as playful, but she didn't. She just smiled, that infuriatingly confident smile, as though she held some private knowledge I wasn't supposed to have. "I'm serious," she said, leaning back. "Sometimes I just wonder if this was ever worth it." For a moment, I stared at her, wanting to ask what she meant, but my voice wouldn't come. I remembered all the nights I stayed up worrying about her, all the sacrifices I made for us. Did she really think it was meaningless? And yet, beneath the pain, a whisper of suspicion began to take root. A tiny seed of doubt I had buried for months, pretending it didn't exist. Over the next few days, the air in our house changed. She laughed more freely, but there was a subtle edge, an evasive quality to her words that made my skin crawl. I started noticing small things. Texts disappearing from her phone, sudden late-night errands she claimed were work emergencies, the faint scent of someone else's cologne lingering in our bedroom. Each clue was minor on its own, easily dismissed, but together they built a quiet, gnawing crescendo of fear. I tried confronting her gently at first. "Clara, is something going on?" I asked one night, the hum of the refrigerator filling the silence between us. She shrugged, brushing my question aside. "You worry too much," she said, tucking herself into our bed as if nothing had happened. But the unease in my chest refused to dissipate. One evening, I returned home early from work, heart hammering in anticipation. The house was eerily quiet. In the kitchen, I found her phone on the counter. Screen cracked. An accident, she would later claim. But curiosity got the better of me. And there it was, messages that made my chest tighten so fiercely, I felt as though I couldn't breathe. Names I didn't recognize, words of affection that were never meant for me, photos that confirmed my worst fears. She had been living a double life, carrying on an affair behind my back, laughing at the life we built together as if it were a joke. When I confronted her that night, the house shook with tension. "Clara, I saw everything," I said, my voice barely above a whisper, raw with heartbreak. Her eyes widened, but not with guilt, surprise maybe, but mostly irritation that she'd been caught. "It's not what you think," she said, the classic line, but I didn't need explanations. Her words had been meaningless long before I even asked. The confrontation escalated, voices sharp, jagged, slicing through years of memories. She tried to deflect, to make me feel small, to laugh at my pain. And then it hit me, the final, brutal realization. The woman I loved had been mocking our marriage all along, not in jest, not playfully, but with someone else's presence in her mind. She had turned the life we shared into a private joke, and I had been the only one taking it seriously. I remember standing in the living room, hands trembling, watching her pack a bag. The betrayal was so vivid it felt physical, a weight pressing into my chest, stealing my breath. I wanted to yell, to plead, to beg her to stay, but I couldn't. The truth had cut clean through the illusions, and I finally saw the path before me. I took a deep breath, steadying my voice. "Clara," I said, every word measured, "you've been pretending our life together was a joke. I took it seriously, and now you'll live with what that cost you." She froze, and for the first time that night, the laughter left her face. When the door closed behind her, the silence was deafening. I sank into the couch, the weight of betrayal pressing down, but underneath it, a strange clarity emerged. I hadn't lost myself. I had found the courage to face a truth I'd been too afraid to see. The woman who mocked our marriage was gone, but the life I had to rebuild was mine alone. In that moment, I understood the bitter lesson. Trust, once shattered, cannot always be repaired, and some truths, however painful, set you free.